Here we go then. This is my second attempt this week at Zwift Unlocked Stage 2 electric brake course. You can see top right, there's a bit of a lead in, 12.2 miles, 650 odd feet. So I raced in a higher category than I should have done. I've gone out on fire here, by the way. This is the confidence. Raced in a high category earlier in the week and finished, was it perhaps 24th out of 75. That was my recce, that was my practice. And it's Saturday morning, so I'm off in a group of 35, but back in the 330 to 450 group, which is my natural ZRS group. And I wanted to see how much of an impression I'd made in regards to improving my fitness. Now, on the right, I've done this before. I've gone out fast and stretched the group. So there's nothing changed there, but I wanted to see over the two climbs, one probably just over halfway on this one, then you've got a flat, then you've got the final climb to the finish, which is a series of punchy little 20, 50 feeters, flat 20, 50 feeters, and then you've got two elevated ascents to the finish and a little flat corner to turn around to go through the banner. Excuse me. Top left, look, I'm doing 314, 13 average watts. Let's fast forward it. The start on this is someone going on the attack there. It's pretty standard. It's flat. Nothing really happens. It's hard to get away from a pack, to be honest, and it was hard. I didn't break the pack by going off quickly there. There's a descent, as you can see, just coming up here. It gets interesting when there's a little lump coming up quickly, probably the 7.5 miles to go. And then that's just a little teaser to what's coming. Here we go, 7.7 to go. It's no more than 4%, well, 3.6% there. Just stand up, get to 450, between 400, 450 watts, just to keep at the front. Now, this is my natural group. I'm 423 ZRS, I think. The maximum is 450 here. I've been doing 3.5, 3.6 watts a kilo over the 30 minutes. I think it was just under 30 minutes in earlier weeks in the midweek race. So I really want to see how that is effective in my natural category. And the bottom line is, can that put me comfortably in the top 10 on a race like this? Can I get top 5 finish? That's what I was really aiming for. So I'm just sat in the draft here. I'd done enough at the start, to be fair. Just pull into the draft, right into the middle of that group. But yeah, it seems to be quite a competitive pack because I think there were only 2 dropped out of the 35 on the initial acceleration. A bit of a, not a sprint, but a quicker start. I've got the feather here, which I'm not going to use, obviously, till I've learned probably on 3/4 the way up that first climb, which is coming up. 7.1 miles to go, almost 12 minutes. Done 134, 35 feet, 5 miles. Flying along at almost 30 miles an hour. 266 calories. 251 average watts. I'm in that comfortable 15th gear. It's between 85 and 90 RPM. The cadence, not got my heart monitor on here actually. Genuinely forgot it today. I was in a bit of a rush. Didn't have the greatest warm up. And with everything else, the important thing, got my water bottle, got the fan on, but I did forget the heart monitor. I'm sure. Here we go, 6.8 to go. Everyone's preparing for this first climb. This was really interesting because I almost got dropped in the higher group at the top and I had to chase back into the pack over the next mile, ready for the second and final climb. So I'm wondering, with the same effort, will I be at the front of this climb? Let's see. 250 watts average top left. yeah, this is a strange course. I mean, it's a tough course, but there's seldom any attacks really. And what you'll see, I actually do this a minute slower, which I guess you won't be surprised, than when I was in the quicker group earlier. And it really is. I mean, it's obvious the higher group can sprint quicker. There'll be more riders that can sprint quicker. But it's these mid-flat sections. There's a bit more of a breather. The average watts, I'm sure, is just that little bit lower. And you're not feeling totally on the edge, which I did feel midweek. And it absolutely destroyed me. So here we go. We're going into this climb. 2 sections. So I think there's this first part here, orange and yellows, what, 4.5% perhaps. Then you have a blue section, then you've got the second part of the climb. It's absolutely critical you're in the front group over that second part of the climb going over the top. Otherwise, people just accelerate away and you've got a mile to get back into the pack. And by the time you've done that, you're on the second climb, final climb, and you've been burning all your matches. So I'm going here, right at the front. I'm doing nothing out of the ordinary here, or in relative for me. In fact, a bit less there. I've been pushing up to about 450 odd watts. When I'm stood up, there you go. 450. And then on the yellows, what, between 300, 350 really. I know I've stopped there. So stand up on the oranges. That was my tactic. Not putting everything in, but just giving it a bit more of a punch in 15th gear. And that kept me at the front, which gave me a lot of confidence. As you can see, no one's attacking, no one's flying past me. And I thought, right, okay, I've got an opportunity here on this final climb to get in the top 10. And I was pretty confident I could do that. Unless everyone was conserving energy, which I doubt, nobody wants to be dropped on here. And I just felt, right, I'm competing here. So second part of the climb here starts perhaps just under 3%. The gradient increases on that midpoint, the orange part. And you can see it's orange, yellow, orange, yellow. Same tactics here. Sit down 3 to 350 in the yellow. I think I was, stand up in the orange. When it's pushing over perhaps 4%. Yeah, it's pushing well over 5 there actually. So get up, put the 400 plus watts in. And that seemed to be a consistent enough tactic for me to apply. And plus, through learning, I thought, right, that's what I'm going to, that's how I'm going to approach and execute the final climb. And I should be in a decent position. So it does go on and on this seemingly. 262 watts average, top left. Obviously the average going up with this climb. That will come back down as everybody takes a breather at the end of this and prepares for that final climb. Midweek I was 260 odd average. I didn't increase my FTP, but I think I did 3.6 watts a kilo. End of the year, well, FTP aim is 275. Just a couple Denton there, just stretching everybody. I don't think that's a problem, because I've got 2 riders here, Izzard and Mayer. Oh, there you go, everyone's coming through. They're not going to let Denton break away at this point. No chance. I suspect it's just put a bit of power, put a bit of a signal there that Denton will be at the front there, I guess, on the final climb. Just a little niggling punch here. I used up my feather there, because I forgot to use it on the main part, and that's partly due to the fact that I was quite comfortable. Here we go, just sat in. I think everyone's just slowed it down a bit now. There we go. Just sat in first, comfortable. You can see from the leaderboard on the right, you know, the back riders are 8-9 seconds behind. Now, I think what you'll see, they may come into the pack here on this flat as everyone cools down, drops to your 2 to 250 watt recovery flat. 4.7 miles to go. It's all set up beautifully. Now you see they're losing places 12 seconds, 13, 19 seconds. So I think there's a first group here. What have we got? I'm 7-6. Yeah, there's almost a top 9, top 10. Definitely now, look. There's a front pack opened. Everybody else has been dropped. So that was pleasing. I'm going to get a top 10 finish here, which was the objective. And to be honest, I haven't been full gas. So here we go, slow it down, 2 miles to go. So there's this little step here. Again, I was just being wary. Just keep at the front there. I don't want to get dropped with less than 2 miles to go with the final climb to go. It's only 4%, just put it in, 4.5%, sorry. Get over this, and then we'll think about probably half a mile, perhaps a bit less on the flat. Stay there. 260 average, top left. 1.8 miles to go. It's all building up here. What have we got? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It keeps moving, that leaderboard. I think there's 9 of us, 10 of us perhaps. Yeah, Larson's still in contention there. There's 10 riders going into this final climb. 25, nearly 26 minutes elapsed, 471 feet. So I'd say perhaps 180, 190 feet to climb over the last 1.5 miles. I think everyone's just prepping now. I'm just keeping in the draft, playing it cool. I've just done enough on the front, to be fair. 1.5 miles to go. There's a little step here, and then I think in a minute we're going to get into this climb. 487 calories, 488 calories. Stay at the front. The tactics have improved, I've got to say, perhaps over the last 2 or 3 months, thanks to some of the comments on my videos actually. Just people giving good advice, really appreciate it. And obviously the more racing you do, you get used to just sitting in the middle, taking on the draft, taking a breather, taking a rest, and you knowing when to attack and accelerate. Here we go, these punchy little 25, 30 footers. There you go. Same tactic. Off the saddle on the orange, take a breather on the yellow, blue. I'm in the top 3 here. Obviously, I don't know how much energy these 2 front riders have got. Got Renyard behind. There's a second between probably 7th to 10th now. They're still putting 4 point odd. What's a kilo? If I keep doing this, I'm going to be alright. But look, they're just pulling away, 4 or 5 metres from me there. I don't want that to happen. I need to grab them back. Otherwise, if they keep doing that, I've no chance on that final climb. Remember, this suits me, this course, in a way, because there's no flat sprint at the end. So it's climb to the finish, albeit a corner that's pretty flat for about 50 metres. Get back into this, and there's 4 of us going for those top 3 positions here. Just need to get on his wheel. Can't quite. I wasn't concentrating there. They've just got this little gap, comfortable gap, and they're riding together. I'm not quite on the draft there. 0.6 to go, exciting. Climbing. I just got back in there. Yeah. Good. It's really enjoyable watching back. You can actually sit and think and watch all the details. So Denton's gone off on one there, and he's gone off as I was catching to the back of the pack. So I've no chance. He's great opportunity to attack there. Someone's put the feather on. I'm all burned up here. I didn't realise, and I'd used the feather ridiculously before. Wasted it really. They're getting away from me here. I'm still putting above 400 watts, but I just can't close that gap. Denton 4 seconds ahead with 0.4 mile to go, so he's going to take that. The question was, could I get third? I'm ahead of the PMAR, yeah, MR rider there, the German, but he's coming back at me 2 seconds ahead, and I think everybody else is too far. So I'm going to finish in the top 6 here, definitely. Which I'm delighted. I stood up, get on the yellow, just keep it pressing. Yeah, top 3's been decided now. Denton, brilliant run. 10 seconds, just absolutely smashed it there. Be going through the line in a second, I guess. Still doing 6.3 watts a kilo. The other two are doing 4.5 plus. I got taken here by the German into 5th, but I got stood up again because I was not finishing 6th. I was determined. Even though he's chasing here, just keep going, stand up. 400 feet to go. Have enough here. 4 seconds advantage there. Just stand up and it's round the corner, the banner. Yeah, 180 there. Through in 5th. Absolutely delighted. 554 calories done. 262 average. Another strong result. 5th, that's the difference. Practice in the higher groups. Come back into lower groups and look at the difference. If you enjoyed it, like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching.